Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the permanent missions of Somalia and Canada, UNICEF, and Under the Same Sun for working with my office to organize this important side event. I would particularly like to thank Marta Santos Pais, the Special Representative of the Secretary General on Violence Against Children, for her presence today and for her long-term commitment and advocacy for the rights of children with albinism. Ladies and gentlemen, it is always with eagerness that I raise my voice to increase awareness on the human rights situation of persons with albinism, for they suffer terrible discrimination, stigma, and social exclusion. Families frequently neglect schooling for children with albinism because they believe it is a waste of resources. Those lucky enough to attend school are often teased and bullied by their classmates. But the challenges these children face in school do not stop at bullying. They also suffer significant impairment of vision, and if they do not have spectacles, they are usually unable to see the blackboard. This situation not only frustrates them, it also affects their self-confidence and performance, sometimes forcing them to drop out of school. The result is that many persons with albinism have low education levels and thus lack the full social and economic tools to live productive lives. In addition, people with albinism cannot, for example, afford simple remedies like sun cream to protect themselves from the increased risk of skin cancer caused by the lack of pigmentation in their skin. All these factors contribute to a shorter life expectancy for persons with albinism in comparison with other members in the same community. We have, in the recent past, heard about the violent attacks and killings of persons with albinism, particularly children. Between 2000 and 2013, my office received reports of more than 200 cases of attacks against persons with albinism in 15 countries. The real numbers are probably much higher because many attacks and killings are not documented nor reported, often due to the secret nature of witchcraft-related rituals and the social marginalization that is albinism's legacy. Wherever such violence occurs, and whatever form it takes, it is always rooted in stigma and superstition. Some believe that children with albinism are a potential source of misfortune or proof that wives have been unfaithful. The frequent result is abandonment of children and, more sporadically, infanticide. Others believe that the body parts of persons with albinism possess magical forces capable of bringing wealth and power if used in potions produced by witch doctors. The circumstances under which such attacks reportedly occur are horrific and severely traumatize survivors as well as their families. These attacks are also often linked to the trade in human organs and, in some cases, to trafficking in persons and the sale of children. Ladies and gentlemen, in response to the increasing reports of ritual killings and attacks against persons with albinism documented in early 2013, the Human Rights Council adopted a resolution requesting my office to come up with a preliminary report on the most serious human rights violations faced by persons with albinism. In September 2013, the Human Rights Council adopted yet another resolution, this one mandating its advisory committee to prepare a more in-depth study and to report to the Council's March session in 2015. At the African regional level, the African Commission of Human and People's Rights also adopted a resolution which, among other things, required member states to include in their reports to the African Commission information on the situation of persons with albinism, including good practices in protecting and promoting their rights. While I welcome the increased engagement of international and regional mechanisms on this issue, this must be translated into specific measures at the country level to protect and preserve the rights of persons with albinism to life and to security. Perpetrators of crimes against persons with albinism must be brought to justice. Access to legal counsel and appropriate remedies must be provided to victims and family members. The fight against impunity for these crimes must also aim at combating the stigma attached to persons with albinism through education and raising awareness about it. States must also adopt firm measures and policies to address the multiple forms of discrimination affecting persons with albinism, among other things, by ensuring they have adequate access to health care, social services, employment, and education. Ladies and gentlemen, people with albinism have the right to live without fear of bullying, discrimination, social exclusion, killing, and dismemberment. My office is committed to pursuing its engagement with all relevant human rights mechanisms, including those of the African Union, to address the many terrible violations committed against persons with albinism. I wish you well in your deliberations, and I look forward to joining forces with you to put an end to this criminal and pervasive discrimination. Thank you.